So apparently I'm supposed to be doing this video blog thing, and I think I vaguely remember promising some dumb idea that John had, but, you know, that doesn't really narrow it down, so here I am stuck with this interesting little project here, and I wasn't really sure what I'd video blog about, because I don't really have that much to say, except I do, so then it occurred to me, I should just read you some of my old rants, and probably get sent off on some new ones over time. So I just flipped back to my personal blog, and I looked at my, I just flipped back a little bit, and the very first thing I saw was my open letter to Rockstar and the LGBTA community. So, dear Rockstar Games, what's up? Long-time player, first-time complainer. Seriously though, I like you. Hell, when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, I took a week off from work so I wouldn't have any distractions. I've been a fan since I was playing the very first top-down GTA back in the dorms some years ago. Your irreverence towards life is funny to me. Anyway, when I finally got around to playing Bully, I was pretty pumped. This is the game that Jack Thompson got disbarred over. This is the game that you use to troll everyone, and I mean everyone. Nobody had any idea what the game was like before it came out, and you filled us all with images of horrible high school violence. Only to give us a main character who, well, kind of a punk, is actually a good kid, standing up for the bullied, etc. A little bit of a psychopath, yeah, but his heart's in the right place. Plus, this horrible teen sexuality that everyone was screaming about turned out to be kisses. Whoops. And you even included the ability to kiss boys. You won a lot of hearts in the LGBTA community with that one. So here's my thing. All of a sudden in, chapter 4? There's some really disturbing sexuality in the game. And all at once. We're going to set aside the slut-shaming of Lola for the purposes of this letter, because while it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, it was no more unrealistic than the images of fat nerds being stuffed into lockers, and the guys who throw that word around is basically one of the bad guys, who Jimmy gets to beat up every so often. So, like I said, we'll ignore that for the moment. We're going to ignore, too, that beast of a gym teacher hiring Jimmy to steal used underwear from the girls' dorm for him. That was really creepy, Rockstar. That was really creepy. I'm not going to lie to you. If this were a college game, a panty raid would be a classic to the point of being cliché, and significantly less repulsive. But we're talking about what? Girls 14 to 18? Maybe younger? There's never really a firm explanation of the age ranges at this school, but some of the kids are awfully short. Still, I recognize that you were probably going for the creepy gym teacher thing on purpose. There's no actual violence being visited upon anyone, so that was really pretty gross. I'm willing to overlook it. Except, you see, for that mission where Jimmy becomes complicit in a rape, oh, you don't remember that? That's funny, because you even set it up in the mission before. Let's see. First, he goes out and finds sedatives for the cook, then gives the sedatives to the cook, then the cook uses those sedatives to drug the chemistry teacher and haul said chemistry teacher into a nearby motel for a night of sex. I left out the genders of the characters there because in my opinion they're not relevant, but someone is probably going to tell me that since it was a female cook and a male teacher, that was just funny. Except, not so much. Rockstar, listen, you like to push the envelope. I'm hip. Hot coffee was hilarious, and Hillary could bite me if she really disagrees. But even you, Rockstar, would not have given us a mission in which the protagonist of a game keeps people from disrupting an event where the ancient and repulsive male cook drugs the coffee of this hapless spinster chemistry teacher so he could rape her repeatedly in a sleazy motel. Would you? I mean, I really don't think you would. So why would you try to do the exact same thing with the genders reversed? Not to talk about your competition, Rockstar, but one of the things I loved most about Fable 3 was the mission where this one horrible older person, who is married to a young, moneyed, attractive spouse, dates you, then asks you to kill the younger person and marry them in their stead. The reason I love it is because the genders of the participants change based on your character's gender, but the dialogue is exactly the same. The older woman comes across as manipulative and mean, but her rich, attractive, and young husband, he seems kind of weak. Conversely, the older man seems slimy, evil, while his still rich, still attractive, and still young wife is somehow pure, perhaps naive, utterly innocent of all wrongdoing. It's a powerful illustration of how switching gender roles without changing any other variables can alter our perception of a situation. I'm bringing this up, Rockstar, to illustrate exactly what you've done. You've created a situation like that, where the action is utterly evil, and switched the traditional gender roles to make a shitty joke out of it. It's still rape. It's rape. No still about it. You created a video game in which a 15-year-old helps one person rape another. That's pretty fucked up, Rockstar. I don't love this about you. I don't know how I feel about you anymore. You should think about this. Sincerely, Patrick. Side note, to the LGBTA community. Hi. Where the hell were you when this one was relevant? You played this game. Don't tell me you didn't. GayGamer.net was all over this sucker when they found out you could kiss boys with a male character. It was big. It was big news at the time. This part, not so much. Did nobody finish the game, or did nobody care? I've been operating under the assumption that gender issues and gay issues went hand in hand, that equality for gender identity and equality for sexual orientation were things we all wanted. You have a responsibility to point out something as egregious as this, despite the minute catering to same-sex relationships. And let's not overlook that those are comprised entirely of, once you've humiliated an entire faction in the game, one of the members who happens to share your gender swapping spit with you. Please don't get bogged down by petty victories and allow something this dehumanizing to slip through. It's not going to do anyone any favors. With respect, and some serious disappointment, Patrick.